Anyway, let's get to our next guest on FT Live. Max Muncy joining us, fresh off Dodger Fest with the Dodger hat or shirt going on right now. Max, how was the weekend?
It was good. It was wild. It's my sixth or seventh fan fest we've done over here, and it was probably the most buzz that we've had around one.
Are you at the ranch right now?
I am, yeah, yeah. I
Oh.
had to find a spot to come get on with you guys.
It looks so much nicer than the White Sox side. I don't know why.
Oh,
It always has.
has to.
It just always has. It's unbelievable. You go. So when we used to share a complex with the Dodgers when I was at the White Sox, and the White Sox is just barren desert, right? And then you walk over to the Dodger side, and there's palm trees. There's like oases in the middle, and they got their guys, getting massages out there, and they're doing the backstroke, and there's people feeding them grapes. You go back over to the White Sox, we're just getting after it, grinding. It's just such a difference.
Grinding.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I can fact check you on that. We do not get fed grapes, and there's definitely no massages.
Confirmed from a longtime Dodger. That does not happen.
Organic grapes.
They
Organic.
have the
McKay,
people
yeah.
with the fans when they're taking BP, so Mookie doesn't get too hot.
Hey,
I wish.
Hey, as a visiting player, when you would play the White Sox, it was so much hotter. When you played the Dodgers, there was cloud cover, there was fans. It just felt like it was a much better place to play.
I mean, I will say when there's not a lot of fans at this place, it feels like it's 1,000 degrees out there. The yellow seats,
Thank-
the rust colored stadium that they did for aesthetics, it feels really hot when you don't have a bunch of fans out there.
Thank you.
Well, you know why they did that, right? You know why
Because
they
they
switched
hate
that
the White
color?
Sox?
No,
It
because
was,
they matched Dodger Stadium seats. That's why they did it.
Yeah, it was
So they're
something
like
to
a
do with
yellow.
the old ownership. That's how they wanted it.
Yeah, so it's like a weird yellow color.
Yep.
So I remember the infielders and outfielders like, I can't see the fucking ball
Get
all the
used to it.
time.
But that's how Dodger Stadium
Well,
is.
Dodger games where there was people. The White Sox there was less people, so there was more
Well,
seats and less people.
day games at Dodger Stadium, it's the hardest place to see a baseball. So, if you're on defense for a day game, you better hope they don't hit a rocket at you because you can't see it.
Oof, that's rough. All right, so do you think that every team is going to treat the Dodgers series like it's the World Series?
I figured you guys were gonna bring that up. Mookie tossed that out there, and I'll just leave Mookie's quote alone. But I mean, I will say everywhere we go, there's always a beat LA chant. I don't know if they're doing that chant for other teams. So it's something that we're kind of used to. I think it kind of comes with the territory, having the success that we've had. Being the market that we are, I think teams do just want to beat us.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with what he said. It wasn't like he was attacking one team. It wasn't like he was attacking, a division opponent or the Diamondbacks for making the World Series, all that stuff. He said what I assume. I loved his honesty because he said what I assume you guys are talking about in the locker room on a daily basis.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I've always said, when you look at scouting reports and teams come into Dodger Stadium, especially, pitchers are always throwing 2 to 3 miles an hour harder every time they come into Dodger Stadium, and that's just part of the atmosphere that comes with Dodger Stadium. You have 60,000 people there. You have the speakers, the lights always feel a little bit brighter. It's just that's just part of the atmosphere and the nature that's created. But it definitely feels like we are, you get everyone's best every single time.
Hey, pressure is a privilege. If you guys sucked, you guys are the Oakland A's, you know what? It wouldn't be the World Series. So you should own it and be proud of it. I loved what Mookie said because I said the other day, like when we used to play the Yankees when they had Jeter, Posada, Bernie, Pettit, Clemens, that whole crew of guys, guess what? It was a huge game every time. No matter what place we were in, we're like, shit, if we can beat the Yankees, we can measure ourselves, right? And then the Red Sox kind of became that after they won in 04 with David and Manny and that whole crew, Pedro and Schilling. So listen, dude, if I was y'all, I'd be like, hell yeah, bring it on, people, because we're the best team. We got Mookie, Freddie, Shohei, Max, Will Smith, Chris Taylor. Let's go. We're gonna win the damn World Series. I'd be like banging my chest. Let's go. Bring it on.
Yeah, it's just something that we've kind of always dealt with, at least since I've been here. But and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Let me put that out there. I'm not complaining about it. I think it's awesome. It creates for a lot of fun games, a lot of fun atmospheres, and it's why you play the game.
That's why you guys are playing. Would you be okay with this big season coming up here where you guys want to win 10 World Series for the next 10 years. The first one, though, the Hard Knocks Netflix group following you around. Now they just announced that with the Red Sox. How would you feel if you had to be the team?
I think we're gonna have enough going on this year as it is. I don't think we need that. It's already gonna be. We're already seeing it a little bit. There's been a lot more media out here that they haven't been given access yet, but they're lining up along the fences, and a lot more fans, and camp hasn't even started yet, and so that's something that's new. And I think we're going to be dealing with a lot of that this year. I don't think we need any more distractions.
So is that Shohei related, or is that Max Muncy related? Is it Mookie Betts?
It's not. It's not me.
Bowling tournament? Did you go to Mookie's bowling tournament?
Absolutely, yeah. It was a good time.
What'd you bowl?
Not great. I think it was
Did
like
you get triple digits?
Yeah, I got triple digits. I think it was like a 160 or something like that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Do you
Are
get
you
your
like
own ball?
are you a spinny bowler or a straight bowler?
I was just throwing it straight. Mookie showed up and he started spinning it a little bit, and so I tried it once and it was terrible. So I just went back to throwing it straight as hard as I could.
Mookie's a pro.
There's no way Freddie's a good bowler.
Freddie was probably bowling at like 30 miles an hour. The pins were exploding into other lanes when the ball was hitting the pins. He was just throwing it as hard as he could. Those long arms, he was letting it rip, and it was everyone kept like flinching every time the ball hit the pins. They were just exploding.
I
Did they
can
give you
see
a free
Freddie
ball?
being the guy that like chest passes it. Like
No,
when I was a little
he's an
kid.
athlete.
When I was a little
Stop.
kid, we used to chest pass. Boom, 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 boom. It was good. It was much more accurate than I was trying to, throw the
No,
ball.
Freddie was getting the arm swing going like way back above the head, and he was pulling it through, and he was letting that sucker rip.
It's a velocity contest for some people.
Yeah.
So you've spent a lot of time with your teammates lately, right? And I know last time we had you on, we talked about the fact that you hadn't even gone over how much media attention and just buzz and craziness was going to go down at the ballpark on a daily basis. Fans, pregame BP, the whole deal, right? Have you guys talked about what to expect on that front?
No, we haven't talked about it as a group yet, but I think we all understand it. At Dodger Fest, when Shohei showed up, he had a group of like 30 people around him with security guards and staff, and just trying to make sure that nothing was happening. And we've never had a guy like that before. And you're talking about Kershaw's been here for however many years he's been, but it's never been quite like that. So it's we already know it's going to happen. We haven't talked about it, but I'm sure we'll have a couple of meetings once camp actually starts.
You just got into spring training. Does it feel for you any different? Like, do you feel like I know you said all the people that are around, and you said, but the anticipation of the season. Because I remember going into spring being like, okay, it's fine. And then a certain thing would happen, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, this is real again.
Yeah, I don't think it's reached that point yet. Pitchers and catchers report tomorrow for us, which is extremely early because we have that Korea trip in the middle of spring training, and I don't think it's set in just yet. But I know once you have everyone here and everyone's wearing pants and it's actually full go out there, it's going to sink in.
Hey, Max, your spring training locker, are you close to Shohei or are you far away?
He's not on the same row as me, but he's close on the other wall.
Okay, because I was gonna. So you guys are like kind of corners, and then like catty corner
Yeah,
each other.
Kind of. Yeah, he's next to Mookie. So.
Oh my God! Oh, Mookie's gonna be so happy about that. Mookie's gonna come in. He's gonna be trying to put his feet up, and there's gonna be 10,000 reporters by Mookie, and he's gonna be like, "Can y'all just get away?"
Who makes that call?
It's got to be the equipment, but Mookie could move if he wanted. I would guess. I don't know.
Well, those guys have multiple lockers. So the wall that they're on is set up for them to be able to do that.
Love that.
You don't have multiple lockers yet? You haven't hit that stage?
I got a big locker.
He does.
But I don't have multiple lockers because I have a big locker. Those guys have multiple small lockers.
Oh. Ooh, okay.
I don't know which one. I don't know which one would be better, but I don't have enough stuff to require multiple lockers.
Yeah, so catchers. I always had to have multiple lockers because catching gear and shoes and everything.
Yeah, the catchers always get multiple lockers, but Mook's got his whole thing of Jordan gear coming in. He needs several lockers to house all of that.
Yeah, well, that's the difference. Dodger side, they can afford like 4 lockers per player. White Sox side, we barely got one.
You guys don't even have chairs.
that was the Braves, dude. We didn't have chairs with Braves in Atlanta at
You sit
Disney.
in the locker.
We had to sit. I swear to God, we didn't have chairs. In the spring training club.
Why?
Because there wasn't room.
Oh,
We had no
that's
chairs.
right.
You literally had nothing to sit on. You either sat on the floor or you sat in your locker. It was
They give
awful.
you guys pillows to sit on the floor?
Nothing. Nope. It was hard ass concrete. Hey,
Oof.
Max, so you're going to look out for some guys this year, some young guys. You're going to have to grab some guys that, rookies or younger guys and be like, hey, man, don't get caught up in this train because, they're going to see Shohei coming with his 40 to 50 people, Mookie with his Jordan stuff, Freddie with, Charlie running around. I mean, you're going to have to grab some guys and be like, hey, clean this up a little bit.
I hope not. We've never really had to do that in the past. I feel like we created a pretty good clubhouse culture to where guys understand, hey, you got to show up, get your work in, do things the right way. There's plenty of time to goof around when there's downtime, but when it's time to actually get your work in, you got to get out there and do it. So hopefully we don't have to do that too much.
Max, we can now say it somewhat officially. Clayton Kershaw is not going to the Texas Rangers. What were your reactions when you saw that? And did you ever think there was a chance that Clayton wasn't going to figure it out with the Dodgers front office?
I was pumped when I found out he's coming back. He's obviously one of the best left-handed pitchers of all time, and he's an unbelievable teammate, unbelievable competitor. It honestly wouldn't feel right not having him here. For me, there was a little worry he might decide to choose Texas just because he's such a family guy and the situation and that would be there for him in Texas would be almost too perfect. But I'm glad he decided to come back. There's certain guys out there that only need to be wearing one uniform, and he's definitely one of those. He doesn't need to have another uniform ever on, but hopefully, he's got a couple more good years in him.
Does he help the team win when he's not playing? Because we talk a lot about Adam Wainwright would come in when he was hurt, and he would just go about his business. He'd do all his work, and then the day would start when everyone else is coming in, and he was always around. And guys were always talking about how he kind of created a culture, even though he wasn't playing. Is Kershaw that kind of guy, or is it kind of separate with the Dodgers since you guys have so many leaders?
I've always talked about this. Kersh is the first person to set the example. There's no one that has more fun than he does in the dugout, on the field, in terms of goofing off and that kind of stuff. But that's after he completes his work. There's no one that works harder than he does. When he shows up, it's full go, 100%. Right from the start, he gets in the weight room, he gets in the training room, he's doing his stuff, he's working on his mechanics. And then once that's all finished, then he's out there to have a good time. And I feel like that's always set the example that, hey, you don't have to be a no fun guy. You can go out there and have fun in the dugout and have fun on the field and, have fun with your teammates, but you got to get your work in first. And when you have the first ballot Hall of Famer that's setting that example, that's always spoken volumes to me that there's just no one that works harder than that guy and making sure he's in the best spot to help the team win.
Have you called or texted him already since the news came through, or are you just like, whatever, I'll see him in a little bit?
Well, he'll be here tomorrow, so I figured I would just see him then. But one of our trainers was FaceTiming him when I walked in, so I was able to say hi to him then. He seemed pretty pumped to get out here and get things going.
Max, did you talk to him during the process at all this offseason? Did you send him a text like, hey, dude, miss you, hope that you're in spring training with me?
No, I didn't do that. He probably had enough going on. He didn't need me reaching out. I feel like we've got a good friendship, but he didn't need me to reach out.
And, you don't have to worry about this the year after, assuming, everything plays the way they want it to. I mean, he's got the player option this time because he was going off those 1-year deals. You saw that, right?
Yeah. It's exciting because I feel like that just hopefully is going to make it a lot easier for him to just say, yeah, I'll come back and not have to do the whole everyone wait till spring training thing again. I think it's a good thing for him. He's got a deal locked up if he wants it. And, we'll see where he's at and where he's thinking with where his career's at. But, obviously I'd love to have him every year that I'm playing.
Have you seen Gavin Lux yet? Have you seen him at camp yet?
Yeah, he was here today. I was actually just sitting with him not too long ago.
So he's back because we had him on and he had his shirt, off, and he was looking all jacked and buff. But so he's back, right?
When you have a big knee injury, the only thing you can really work out is your upper body, right? So he should be jacked.
Prison body, right? Prison body. Yeah. Only upper body. Can't do squat.
No,
big upper body.
No, he looked good. He looked good. His swing looked good. We're excited to have him out there, and we were hoping he was going to be a big piece for us last year before that bad injury happened, and we're obviously going to count on him again this year.
Where's your swing at? Where's your swing at this point in your career? At this point in the season started, because you're going to face some really good pitching here in about 10 days once these pitchers start ramping it up.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I'm not looking forward to our live BPs against our pitchers. That's not going to be a whole lot of fun. We talked about it. One of the last times I was on, me and Miggy Rowe were texting back and forth talking about how, hey, we're gonna have a lot of jam jobs in these live APs coming up. Got a nasty staff out here, and but hopefully it makes the other pitching seem a little bit easier.
Yamamoto, he's there.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
seen
he was ripping the darts yesterday.
I was going to say, have you touched the javelin yet? Have you touched
No,
it?
no,
Is
I
it
haven't
off
touched
limits?
but-
Is it like held in a special? Was that Mookie that just walked behind you?
No, it's Petey Montero, one of our coaches.
Oh, I was like, is that Mookie and Freddie? Because I need to talk to both of those two.
No, they're not out here yet. I don't
Of
actually.
course,
I think
they're they're superstars. They show up. They're like Scott Braun. They show up when they want.
I want to
get it.
see javelins just being thrown behind
Yes.
him, like back and forth.
yeah, the guy said he was ripping them about 50, 60 yards yesterday. He said it was pretty cool to watch. We had some things going on, so the guys have been going over to the minor league field, so I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I saw some of his warm up stuff though. It's pretty interesting and unique.
Do you think every young aspiring pitcher out there is going to be chucking javelins?
Maybe we'll see how this year goes. It might be the new craze.
Hey, what did you think about the Dodgers, spending, I don't know, a few days not pulling off a signing, but then they brought Ryan Brazier back. You got to see him in the second half of the year add a cutter, and he was filthy. So they signed him to a 2-year contract. What did he look like, especially in the second half of last year when you guys picked him up from the Red Sox?
He was great. It was someone that every time we brought him in, we knew he was just going to shut it down. We had 100% confidence when we're on the field, we're making a pitching change, and we see him running in from the bullpen. We're all kind of like, all right, this inning's over. We got this one in the bag. It was just kind of you just felt 100% confident out there when he came in, and he came in a couple of big spots. I think he came in one spot where it was bases loaded, nobody out, and he found a way to get 3 outs without allowing a single run. He was kind of a magician out there, and I've known Braze for a long time. We actually played together in Oakland back in 14, 15. I can't remember what year it was. So it's fun to see him come back, and we're obviously all glad he's going to be here.
Man, all right. So explain to people what your typical spring training day is like, because people I don't think understand. You get what time you get to the park, and then what time you're done. Let's say there's no game. You're there 7:30 every day, right?
Well, the Dodgers have been pretty good the last 5-6 years about understanding it's not great to have people out here at 6 a.m. So typical day for us, we usually we'll have a team meeting like 9 or 9:30. So most guys would show up 7:30, 8, have their breakfast, get some work done in the training room or whatever it is they need to get done. If you're a young guy, you're in there loosening up in the weight room, and then after the meeting, you get loosened up in the weight room. You'll do your cage routine, head out to the field, stretch, do whatever the team fundamentals are for that day, and then it's usually like bunt coverages. Well, actually, it's not. You don't do bunt coverages as much anymore now that there's no pitchers bunting, but you work on some type of team defense, and then after that, you hit BP and you come back in, and if it's your day to lift, you get in the weight room and lift, and if not, you're home.
Taking a nap. All right,
No.
by 1 o'clock. Dude, the Dodgers
no,
are so
you-
country
no.
club now, bro.
No, they got the little
9:30. We show up
say-
at 9:30. Oh man, I should have played for the Dodgers. 9:30.
Well, that might also be just me getting older. But I remember when I was with Oakland, I was there at like 6 a.m. I felt like, and but when I was with Oakland, we also had 4 or 5 hours of work out on the field every single day. With the Dodgers, they try to keep it simple. You get good work in. You're not overworking yourself, and that way by the end of spring, you're kind of fresh. You're not absolutely taxed and spent going into the season. We get out there. We have 30 to 40 minutes of a team fundamental, and you try to focus on that as good as you can. Get a couple of reps in, and then you move on to the next thing.
Less is more. I love that. All right. When did you get down to spring? Yesterday? Today?
No, I got out here last week trying to get everything set up before I went out to FanFest.
So give us
So I
give us
haven't
a
really
little.
I haven't really spent a whole lot of time out here because I was getting the house ready and then getting out to LA for Dodger Fest and then trying to stay afloat with all the rain that we had coming out there.
This is it's different for you because you make $9-10 million a year, but give people a little example of moving into a new house because people just think, oh, baseball players, they just take their private jets and they just float into spring training and they come out with their bag over their shoulder. Like, it's the real deal. Do you fill your own fridge or does
I
someone
don't
else
think
do
people
that?
I don't think people realize how expensive a private flight is. There's
Oh,
not many
so
guys. There's
expensive.
not many guys that are actually doing a private flight. You know, there's a couple, but not many. No, for me, I had the U-Haul trailer on the car, drove it out from Texas. 16-hour drive, get to the house, unpack it all. Next day, you got to go to the store, load up the fridge and the pantry with food. You got to make sure the kids are all set, and then um, it's just we're lucky enough to have our own place, but for a lot of guys, you got to check in with the rental house. You got to see what's missing, what's there, what you need to go and get for the spring. There's a whole lot of logistics that go behind that.
For real. People don't understand. There's a lot to think. Spring training was the worst, it was because of what he just said. You get there and you're renting
never
a house, it's furnished. You're like, well, I don't have this, I don't have this. You're at Target.
Yeah, you never know. You never know what's going to be in there. It might be furnished, but maybe there's no pots and pans to cook anything. There might not be any plates. There might not be any silverware. You have no idea, and then you have to balance out whether or not you buy something for the month and a half that you're here, or for us, it's more like a month this year because we leave early to go to Korea. But you have to balance out: is it worth it to go and buy something for a short time to use it, or you just try to make do without it? It's
you're rich.
For a lot of those guys. It's yeah, but I mean, you don't just buy something if you're never going to use it again.
Yep.
Yeah. You're rich. You can leave some pots and pans for the next person
Nope.
that rents the house.
Tigers
Or
don't
give them
change
out.
their
You get 'em
stripe.
Or you hand them to the minor leaguers. Be like, you get a saucepan, you get a frying pan, you get a knife, you get a fork.
You show up with
tell you
like
what,
4 forks.
I would not be handing out knives. Say that. That's the last thing I want is something to happen and that knife gets tied back to you.
Hey, did you get any speeding tickets?
No.
Wow,
Well, I'm pulling a U-Haul trailer. You can't speed with that.
And you got
That's true.
kids
That's a
in the
good point.
car.
Yeah, but dude,
He's not ripping
there's
a
so
Honda.
many legendary stories of guys, especially from Florida, driving to Arizona, and you got to go all the way through Texas, and it's like 20 hours. And I have buddies that have gotten 2 in Texas. They get one like in East Texas, and then when they get all the way, like 8 hours later, they'll get another one. And
I will say if you get a speeding ticket in Texas, you got to be going about 120 miles an hour. They're pretty lenient with you, especially when you get in the West Texas and the speed limit's 85. If you're getting a speeding ticket, you're going about 120, 130.
Yeah. Oh man, I hit 130. I have to.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be driving by a cop going about 95, and they'll kind of just wave at you and be like, "Yeah, go get them." Like so it's if you're getting a speeding ticket, you really got to be getting after it.
Oh man.
Damn, I'm jealous. I need that. I've lived.
You're a speed demon?
Yeah, I've had a lot of tickets in life. Let's let Max go, then we can talk about it. Max, thank you so much, dude. Great to see you there.
Yeah, thanks for having me on,
talk to you
guys.
in a few weeks.
All right, sounds
Cheers,
good,
man.